Artificial intelligence, or AI, is the use of machines to perform tasks that would normally require human intelligence. In many areas of human life, AI has rapidly and significantly impacted society and how we interact. This growth presents substantial ethical and socio-political challenges that demand thorough philosophical and ethical analysis. AI systems are becoming more and more autonomous, rational, and intelligent, giving rise to numerous issues. What exactly is AI? The term artificial intelligence was coined in 1955 by a group of researchers including John McCarthy and Marvin L. Minsky, who organized a workshop in 1956 widely recognized as the beginning of AI study. A later definition describes AI as the ability of a digital computer or robot to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings, frequently applied to developing systems with intellectual processes, like reasoning, discovering meaning, generalizing, or learning from past experience. The early 21st century saw many computer specialists aiming to build a robust AI system, indistinguishable from human intelligence, except for its machine origin. This is sometimes called strong AI or AGI, artificial general intelligence. However, philosopher John Searle argued in 1980 that AGI is in principle impossible, sparking a long-standing debate. Current AI systems are generally narrowly focused or weak AI, only capable of solving specific tasks. Many researchers in the early 21st century primarily associated AI with machine learning, technologies that identify patterns in data, aiming for self-supervised learning systems. The increasing interaction between humans and machines highlights the utmost importance of AI for our systems of ethics and morality. Regardless of AGI's possibility, autonomous AI systems already raise substantial ethical issues like machine bias, discriminatory hiring algorithms, and sexist chatbots. As Rosalind Picard claimed, the greater the freedom of a machine, the more it will need moral standards. This emphasizes that all human-AI interactions inherently involve an ethical dimension. Implementing ethics within machines is a main goal in the field of machine ethics. It has even been suggested that humanity's future existence may depend on implementing solid moral standards in AI systems, given the possibility they might match or supersede human capabilities, a point called technological singularity. Let's delve into some of the main ethical debates. First, machine ethics. This field aims to create machines guided by ethical principles in their decisions. It also examines the moral status of intelligent machines and whether they should have moral and legal rights. A historical perspective comes from science fiction writer Isaac Asimov, who introduced his 3 laws of robotics in 1942, later supplemented by a 4th. These laws have been influential but are considered insufficient for dealing with all complexities related to moral machines. Approaches to implementing ethics in machines include bottom-up, like casuistry, learning from examples, top-down, combining ethical theories like utilitarianism and deontology, and mixed methods. However, some current models are seen more as descriptive accounts of how humans make decisions, rather than normative models for how machines act. Next, autonomous systems. These systems operate with a risk of harm to human life. 2 widely discussed examples are autonomous vehicles and autonomous weapon systems. While autonomous weapons might be suggested as replacements for soldiers, potentially reducing war crimes with an ethical governor, worries exist about increasing war frequency, the AI's ability to interpret war principles, and hacking risks. Similarly, self-driving cars offer benefits like safety and efficiency, but accidents can occur. Tragic examples include fatalities involving Tesla and Uber autonomous vehicles, sometimes due to the AI struggling to classify objects. Scenarios involving unavoidable accidents where lives are at stake are similar to the philosophical trolley problem. A key question is what ethical principles should govern these systems in such situations. There are differing views on whether autonomous machines should ever kill or harm humans, with campaigns launched to stop killer robots. A significant concern with autonomous systems is the potential for responsibility gaps, where it's unclear who is responsible for harm caused by AI decisions. If a machine causes harm, humans involved might try to evade responsibility, and it can seem unfair to blame people for a machine's actions. This challenge requires theories for allocating responsibility for outcomes produced by functionally autonomous AI technologies. A major issue is machine bias. The idea that machines are neutral is a misconception. They may maintain and even substantiate human bias towards various groups. This is a pressing question for machine learning: how to avoid machine bias. Examples of machine bias include gender bias in hiring, racial bias in loan decisions or predicting criminal activity, and bias in facial recognition systems. Machine bias can stem from data bias, trained on biased data, computational or algorithmic bias, developers' biases, and outcome bias, reinforcing historical patterns. Most experts believe fully unbiased systems are impossible, so the focus is on reducing bias and minimizing its effects. Questions remain about what level of remaining bias is acceptable, especially when machine bias compounds human bias in critical decisions like sentencing. Then there's the problem of opacity. AI systems make many decisions impacting people's lives, such as loan applications, university admissions, or job hiring. Because these decisions are so impactful, the reasons behind them should be explainable. However, many AI decisions are not easily explainable to people, leading to the problem of opacity. Opacity can arise from algorithms being trade secrets, users lacking technical expertise, or the black box problem, where even experts cannot understand the decision-making process. On an individual level, this opacity can feel like an affront to dignity and autonomy. On a societal level, increasing reliance on unexplainable algorithmic decisions could threaten democratic processes, a situation termed the threat of algocracy. However, some argue against an absolute requirement for explicability, suggesting that in certain contexts the value of the outcome, like medical diagnosis, might outweigh concerns about not understanding the process. Alternative approaches, such as counterfactual explanations, aim to provide practical guidance on how inputs could be changed to achieve a desired outcome without explaining the internal workings. A more speculative but ethically significant debate concerns machine consciousness. Some researchers think that as machines become more sophisticated, they might spontaneously become conscious. Others are actively trying to create machines with artificial consciousness, aiming for robots that can experience pleasure and pain, or become conscious, living machines. Some suggest that depending on how we define consciousness, some machines might already meet criteria like having internal states and reporting on them. Similarly, if mind is defined functionally, machines could possess minds. Whether machines can or will become conscious is a key ethical controversy. Some argue we should avoid creating machines capable of suffering or machines to which we would have obligations. Others suggest erring on the side of caution, assuming machines might have minds and avoiding actions that could cause suffering. An ethical behaviorism perspective suggests that if a machine behaves like conscious beings with moral status, this is sufficient reason to treat it with similar moral considerations. Relatedly, the moral status of artificial intelligent machines is a crucial topic. Entities with moral status are considered part of the moral community and are entitled to protection and rights. Traditionally, personhood is relevant to determining full moral status. One definition of moral status is when an entity, in its own right and for its own sake, can give us reason to act, for instance, not to destroy or harm it. This often includes entities that are conscious or can feel pain. The question is whether future AI machines might have moral status and rights comparable to humans. Different approaches include the autonomy approach based on Kant, suggesting moral status for rational autonomous agents, the indirect duties approach, based on Kant's view on animals, suggesting we treat robots well because mistreating them could brutalize human character, and the relational approach, suggesting moral status emerges from social relations between humans and robots, not inherent machine criteria. A key observation is that robots may be entitled to moral status and rights independently of human opinion, based on fulfilling relevant criteria. The idea of singularity is often discussed in relation to future concerns. Technological singularity refers to a hypothetical point where an ultra-intelligent machine could design even better machines, leading to an intelligence explosion far surpassing human intellect. While some dismiss this as a myth, prominent figures fear the potential for existential risks, including human extinction, treating AI's risks on par with nuclear weapons. A crucial concept tied to singularity is value alignment. This is the idea that the goals and functioning of AI systems, especially super-intelligent ones, should be properly aligned with human values. This involves equipping AI with the right goals, so their pursuit doesn't risk humanity. Approaches like Stuart Russell's propose AI objectives based on maximizing human preferences, acknowledging uncertainty about these preferences and sourcing information from human behavior. A key problem here is determining values AI should align with, as people reasonably disagree. Technological singularity refers to a hypothetical point where an ultra-intelligent machine could design even better machines, leading to an intelligence explosion far surpassing human intellect. While some dismiss this as a myth, prominent figures fear the potential for existential risks, including human extinction, treating AI's risks on par with nuclear weapons. A crucial concept tied to singularity is value alignment. This is the idea that the goals and functioning of AI systems, especially super-intelligent ones, should be properly aligned with human values. This involves equipping AI with the right goals, so their pursuit doesn't risk humanity. Approaches like Stuart Russell's propose AI objectives based on maximizing human preferences, acknowledging uncertainty about these preferences, and sourcing information from human behavior. A key problem here is determining values AI should align with, as people reasonably disagree. Given these challenges, many institutions are developing ethical guidelines for AI. A review of 84 sets of guidelines found strong convergence around 5 key principles: transparency, justice and fairness, non-maleficence, responsibility, and privacy. However, these guidelines face criticism, including concerns about ethics washing, giving an ethical stamp to potentially problematic tech, and a lack of inclusivity, sometimes ignoring non-Western perspectives. The ethics of AI is a rapidly growing and crucial field. AI has the potential to redefine our traditional moral concepts and theories. The possibility of artificial intelligent machines matching or exceeding human capabilities challenges humanity's traditional self-understanding. While the future of AI ethics is unpredictable, it is sure to offer considerable excitement and surprise as we navigate these complex challenges.